Jordan is right. I mean, look at that. We got a guy from the Flyers on the team joining us today.
Let's go.
Put
How
him
you
up.
doing today?
Put him up.
We're gonna fight. I'll drop him right fucking now.
Put
I'll
him
drop him
up.
right fucking now.
Put him up.
I was gonna say, what is the name of the guy who's fighting everybody right now in the NHL? Leclerc. What's the kid's
Rempe,
name?
I think Matt Rempe or something like
Rempe.
that.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
and Rempe need to go at it.
Rempe.
You just need two
Yes.
black eyes first, and a little bit more experience, but then we'll be good. But hey, that's what everybody needs here. So
Nah, I
welcome
don't get
to
black
another-
eyes. I win. I win fights. I don't lose.
I love it. He's suiting up for Philly. What number would you wear if you had to wear a number for the Flyers? Any number in particular, or
69.
that's an NHL character waiting to happen. This guy, he's a what I forget what they call it, a enforcer, like Goon,
Yes.
the movie Goon. We have our own
Yes.
Goon right here in the chat. But welcome to another episode of Sippin' Sports, your laid back, casual Philly sports talk show. I'm Dalton, Holland, joined here by Chaos Chris and KJ McCoy. We got a big show for you guys. KJ and I are getting ready to go on a road trip in a week or so. The Sixers are crumbling in front of us. Saquon Barkley could potentially be an Eagle, so I know my Penn State fans here are really excited for that. There's a lot on the horizon, but I think it's fair to say we're going to kick this show off with actually an honoring to somebody, Jason Kelce. What a wild week. That announcement kind of came out of nowhere. And then, of course, he announced it. We knew he was going to retire. We just didn't know when the official announcement was going to be made. We didn't know if we were going to get like a couple of days. It was literally like, okay, this is happening today. So I appreciated it. Watching it, I think everybody was crying. For me, the part that I like the most, and I'll leave it at this, I said this on 302 Birds. When Jason's agent said, you don't know how perfect this is. You don't know how much this makes sense for you to go to this city. This city's made for you. That was when I got emotional and I was like, all right, like this is going to suck because this guy's literally the unofficial mayor of this city. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's truly the best fit as a Philadelphia athlete I think I've ever seen. And we've had guys from Philly come here. Well, I think the only one that may rival him is Bryce Harper. He's the only one who's truly embraced the city like he has. Just from wearing the Mummers costume at the parade, he just got us. And he still gets us. I mean, he's still going to live in the area. His wife went to Cabrini. Like, he is a Philadelphian. I don't care. He grew up in Cincinnati. He's a Philadelphian now. And we love to have him here. He's never going to have to buy another drink ever again. He'll never have to buy anything ever again. He is the greatest athlete that we've had in Philadelphia that's got us. May not be the best player overall, but he gets us. And that's why we love him.
Yeah, Chris is totally right. I mean, the guy really embodied this city. I mean, he honestly, I think one thing, and I've talked to a couple of fans who aren't Eagles fans about this as well. I think it kind of changed the perspective and kind of gave them like a different viewing of this, of like Philly sports in general. And to show that like not all the fans are ruthless idiots. Some of us are actually good, like hearted people, which is kind of hard to believe, but yeah. But yeah, Jason Kelce, man, what a career for sure. I mean, as an Eagle, 13 years here. I didn't think too much about it when he was here in 2011. I didn't think he was going to leave this much of an impact because, to be honest with you, you really don't think about these offensive linemen as like the most important like positions. But then once you get more into football, and I mean, like we grew over the years into more of Eagles fans. I think we started to realize how important the position is. I mean, center, left guard, right guard. I mean, all those positions, the tackles,
for sure.
Yeah, offensive tackles. Yeah. So I think you get to really get the perspective of how important they are to an actual team. And I mean, you saw the Super Bowl 52 team. You saw the speech that he had in the Mummers suit, as Chris said before. The guy was he was as Philly as you can get. And he just got this city. He understood the city. And he's a funny dude for sure. And I'm honored that he was an Eagle for sure. So it was great to see his career just blossom.
Honored is the perfect word, KJ. And I just had something I wanted to share real quick, too, before we move on from the segment. But this right here is something that I think is really, really cool. So last year during the Super Bowl, I just DM'd like off of a cuff, like, hey, can I like get any of your merch, make a video in exchange? And then Jason Kelce's brand sent us like a package of merch, which was amazing. Shout out to Underdog. The stuff is really comfortable. I still wear it all the time, especially that hoodie. Takes all of us. But Jason left this handwritten note in all of the care packages, I guess you could say, to the influencers. And it was just like a thank you, but it had his signature on it. So this is one of those things that hangs in my podcast studio with a lot of pride. And it's seriously like, I think right behind that Jalen Hurts card, KJ, it's probably my second favorite thing that I have in this studio because it's just a really unique thing to do as a player. It just shows you, I think, the level of commitment that Jason Kelce has. Like, it's not about, just when he's on camera. This shows like his character, like all facets of life, no matter what this guy does. He's like a stand-up guy. So the cool thing too is he announced that he's staying here. I don't know if you guys saw this part too. So apparently Jason Kelce wants to slim down a little bit. He wants to try to make it down to 250. What do you guys think of that now in his retirement?
I think it's possible. I mean, you saw Joe Thomas do it for the Browns, and I was shocked. They were like, I was watching, what was it, like NFL Primetime or whatever it is for the NFL Network. And I just see like all the analysts and whatever. And then I see this skinny dude, and I'm like, what the heck? And they said, it says right below, it says Joe Thomas. And obviously, legendary offensive guard for the Browns. So it's very possible he doesn't have to bulk up anymore like he used to, because I mean, like, I know somebody who plays for Delaware, and he's a tight end for Delaware, and they have to bulk up in general. He has to be at a certain weight. So that's like the problem when you play football, you have to be at like a certain weight, or obviously, I mean, like it takes a toll for sure. So yeah, now since he's not playing, I think he can totally lose some pounds if he wants to. If he doesn't want to, I mean, that's his choice. But yeah, I think it'll be a good thing for him. I think so.
I
Shout
think
out to Delaware. Sorry, I had to say that. I know Chris doesn't like that, but
they got smoked by Nova this year. But I really think that Kelce's going to stay in playing shape for a couple years. I don't think he truly wants to retire. I think he's doing it right now. But I think there's a good shot next year he might be back for a swan song. We'll see. Maybe that's just me hoping that he's going to come back. But I feel like he's not done with football. I mean, you just saw the way he was in that press conference. Football is everything he knew and everything he loved. So I just don't think he's done yet. We'll see. Maybe I'm just hoping.
His final swan song, that would be interesting. So you think that he's going to come back? What could you see him like coming back, like going into the playoffs, like injury, something like that? Or do you think he comes back like, hey, let me come back right here, right now, start off the season? Because that's a commitment for an older guy. You know what I mean? To come back the whole season.
I think he's off next year and then comes back in 2025. He'll be all out the whole year.
What if we win the Super Bowl next year and then we don't the following year, and then he comes back for nothing? You know,
I don't know if he's doing it, Brady. I don't know if he's doing it, Brady.
I think he's done. I think he's got the podcasting too. I think he's done. But it's an interesting take. I don't hate the take either, because
I think he's going to miss the game so much just watching it from home, and he's going to want to come back. But we'll see. Maybe I'm just hoping. It's probably it.
You know what I'm hoping for? That the freaking Sixers finally get their stuff together. Holy crap. It has been disgusting to watch. Last night, I didn't even watch the game, but I heard that they got destroyed by the Pelicans. The other night, easy games. Tobias Harris is just letting us down. Yep. I mean, I can see the look on KJ's face. Why don't you go ahead and take it first, KJ?
Yeah, it's a bit disappointing. I mean, Tyrese was out yesterday as well. Embiid still has been nowhere to be seen. So we're just waiting for him to make his return. And it's just the Sixers are just falling apart for sure. You're totally right. And hopefully, I mean, when they come back, It'll be okay. I do think it'll be all right, but it's not looking good. It is not. So, I mean, that's really all I have with the Sixers.
That's really it. That's all you got to say. You usually have like a lot more to say.
I
Damn,
usually do.
they're really taking the wind out of you, man.
I usually do. It's just that, like, I want Embiid back. That's literally just all I need, man. That's all I need is I need JoJo back.
Yeah, I think this is what we've been talking for since we started the podcast. Is they're not anything until Embiid comes back. If Embiid comes back, who knows? I know they keep saying, "Oh, Embiid will be back by the playoffs." I don't buy it. I don't think it's going to happen. I think he's done for the year. Like I've seen many things on his injury, and it's like it's not really possible for him to come back. And if he is back, he's not going to really be healthy. And at that point, it doesn't matter because he comes back and plays that sloppy Embiid hurt basketball where he just stands around the 3-point line and jacks up threes out of nowhere. It's bad for the team. And yeah, they're better with him in there, but not enough. So I haven't watched since he got out, and I don't think I'm really going to watch until he comes back.
I'm with you guys. I just love the level of brutal honesty by both of you because KJ, Chris, seriously, we've known KJ for a while. When is KJ not talking about the Sixers? Like,
Dude,
at least for longer than, you know what I mean? Like, that
they've
was
broken
quick.
this kid.
That was like 15
They
seconds.
broke the
We're
kid.
like,
They've broken me, dude. Like
they broke the kid.
It's just I don't know who to trust anymore, man. I just don't know who to trust.
you know, KJ, when I woke up this morning, I thought of you, and I put on this shirt, buddy, because I knew that you were depressed with the Sixers. Whoa, pause. What? No, I'm kidding. In all seriousness,
Thank you.
I put on this shirt because the Sixers need to have some faith. Just win. That's the ideology with the playoffs. Now the fact that they're in the play-in, all right, I get that. That sucks. Don't be stupid. Don't ruin your chances. Don't be idiotic. But the thing that really upsets me, what's going on, Dobbins? What's going on, Jason? Mr. Ellis, welcome. Thank you guys for joining us. But in all seriousness, the main thing with our Sixers is you can drop the ball a little bit, but you can't drop the ball a lot. Right now, they're dropping the ball a lot. That's why everybody's getting so upset. Tobias Harris is getting paid, I think, how much, KJ? Do you know off the top of your head? It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. Let me double check.
I saw a stat the other day. I don't want to say the wrong number, but you're getting paid millions of dollars and you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're not getting us wins in crucial moments when players are out. Kyle Lowry, like it's just really Maxey, Embiid. Who else is out besides that? Is it just the two main players? Sixers should call it a season. Billy O'Keefe, what's going on?
Lowry's off and on. I think it's just those two players at the moment, from what I heard. But Tobias Harris's contract right now is $180. I think it's $180 million right now.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
good for him.
Yeah, 5 years.
That's fucking robbery. That's why.
Yeah, it's insane. So
I'd trade it for a crumble cookie.
Oh, you guys want to change it up a little bit instead of us talking about our own problems. Hey, here's a total Philly thing to do. I know Chris and KJ are both going to be about this. Where's the Dallas talk? You asked for it. We'll answer. Buddy, you guys lost the same week as us in the playoffs. We're in the same boat right now. Just with 49ers fans, you guys aren't in the same boat as them, though. That's the thing, because we at least made
the difference is
Super Bowl.
We got to a Super Bowl. We're trying to make it back. They haven't made one since like what 95? I think that's it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wasn't born then, so I don't remember.
Kayson's my guy, though. He's probably one of the coolest Cowboys fans I know, for sure. So he's a cool dude. He's just messing around.
So KJ's no Dallas talk. Don't worry, Kayson. I am all serious with it. I'm not messing around. Thank you for joining us, man. Jordan, what's going on, man? Thank you for joining us as well.
Covington's out. You're right. Yeah, Covington's been out for a while.
It's sad, but I want to talk about something not sad. We're cleaning up in Clearwater. KJ, you're getting ready on the road again. How excited are you?
Dude, I am so pumped. I'm ready to see the freaking palm trees. I'm ready to go to the freaking bar with PSG. Oh, come on, Dutch. Oh, yeah. Let's have some fun. Oh, yeah. I cannot wait. That's going to be freaking awesome because I heard he's down there for like 2 weeks. So we'll go reunite with our brother for sure. That'll be freaking awesome down there. Yeah, it's going to be exciting to see the Phillies take on the Red Sox. I think we might be able to catch another game as well. I don't know if I might be wrong. But yeah, me and Dalton, we got to book that hotel, man. We got to book it. We got to book it.
Yeah,
soon.
we'll do it after this. But I am
Yeah.
excited to see everybody. Like you said, there's a long list of people that I have that we want to run into when we're in Florida. Philly Sports Guy, of course, is at the top of our list.
Mhm.
Ashley and Connor will be there as well. But of
Mhm.
course, we want to see PSG and all the people that run Philly Sports Trips. Shout out to them. I'm gonna see if maybe we can go tailgate with them because they know where the party's at.
Yep,
But
yep.
Vince Rizzuto from Philly Sports Trips would love to go see them. They all do a great job with it. Kyle Carberry, I think, is going to be down there at the same time as us.
Oh, yeah.
My cousin
The
Jake.
king.
And then on the road, we're going to also meet up with Boston, the,
Yeah.
freaking New England Celtics fan.
Boston
So
fan, yep,
if
X.
any of you guys want us to meet up with you or, you like want to cook us dinner on the road trip down, we're going from Delaware to Florida. I'm not going to say when because I don't want people like stalking us. But
Yeah.
in all seriousness, not that anybody would, let me know if, you want to meet up with me and KJ. You got Mama's home cooked pot pie. Me and KJ can pick up a free meal along the road. It's a win-win. We'll film some content and you'll be featured in our road trip vlog.
Oh, it's going to be awesome.
Clearwater.
I can't wait for the vlog.
I'm excited for it. The Phillies just better win now. That's the hard part. That's the hard
part. If you guys don't go to Frenchie's and get at least 6 rum runners, you can't go back. Can't go back.
We will.
Gotta go get the fucking rum runners. Has to happen.
We will. But
Dobbins going at in the chat. I love it. Chris, wait. Go ahead, Chris. Give it to me. Yeah, there it is. And then I got this ready.
Put him up there. Put him up there. Let's go.
I love Dobbins. Fucking this city's Rocky, ready to go at it. I'm with it, Dobbins. I'm with it. But in all seriousness, this team does need to stay together. They need to win. Just win. Just win, please. I don't want to go all the way to Clearwater to see you lose. They play the Red Sox.
It's fucking spring training. Who cares?
It's fine. It's spring training. It's
spring training is meant to just go get hammered.
Yeah.
It's meant to go get hammered, be at the beach, and have great weather. That's what Clearwater is for. Come on.
Yeah, to Philadelphians, right? To
Philadelphia fanatics. And get drunk with the fanatic.
A fanatic.
Exactly.
Oh my God, that's funny. Yeah, Billy O'Keefe, we are going down to Clearwater. We're leaving this week at some point, so stay tuned for that. It should be a lot of fun. But then the Phillies do start off the regular season upcoming. I have a quick question for you guys. What are you guys both most looking forward to seeing this season out of the Phillies? Chris, go ahead, take it first.
Well, it's really, the pitching. You look, we got the stellar lineup, but this pitching is really what puts them ahead. They just locked up Zach Wheeler for 3 more years. Huge, huge deal. They got Aaron Nola for 7 more years. You got Ranger Suarez, who's one of the best postseason pitchers ever, statistically. Christopher Sanchez was really good down the stretch last year. And you got Taijuan Walker, won 15 games last year. Plus, they may add another guy. There's still 2 guys out there, Snell and Montgomery, who could be back. So it's going to be a really interesting season. You got the bullpen, which I think might be a little bit better than last year. Maybe not. We'll see. But I think this pitching is really what puts them ahead. And they may not win the division, but they're going to make the playoffs again. They're going to make another run.
Oh, I like that. I'm with that. The pitching is a hot take for last year, you know what I mean? But to see what they've done, they've really invested in that side of it. Do you think that they need any more pieces, or do you think that they've done enough, Chris?
It would be nice to get Montgomery or Snell, but only on a couple-year deal because you got Painter and Abel, who are 2 of the top prospects in all of baseball, coming up really soon to pitch. So you don't want to handcuff yourself and have those 2 studs just sitting in the minors the whole time. Plus, if you sign Snell, you're going to lose a 2nd-round pick, plus your 1st-round pick goes back 10 spots. So I don't know if they're really willing to make that commitment yet, but we'll see. We'll see.
On a Saturday.
Freaking vengeance, Vinny. Oh, he's about to go get a triple steak at El Diablo. Shout out to El Diablo, of course. If you guys haven't been there, that's a great local Mexican place out here in Delaware. But KJ, what are you most looking forward to seeing out of the Phillies this season.
Yeah, I think it's going to be, as Chris just said, it should be a great season. They're going to be a playoff team for sure. Hopefully a contender. I think it's great that we signed Zach Wheeler to that nice deal. I mean, it secures him for a little while. So I think that was a great move by the Phils. And I mean, it was a move that Bryce Harper wanted the team to make. So you know what? I mean, that's always an A+ kind of move for sure. So yeah, we'll just see what happens with this team, and I'm excited to go down to the ballpark and have some fun and see these guys hit some dingers for sure. I mean, it's gonna be awesome. Schwarber going yard, freaking Castellanos and Harper.
Let's be real. You're gonna watch Jake Cave in left field. You're gonna have you're gonna have a split squad game. You're gonna have all the bums out there. Quad A guys. You ain't gonna see Schwarber or Harper. See, that's exactly why you gotta go there and get drunk as fuck. Go get the goddamn rum runners.
Well, no. I was talking about at the bank. I was talking about
at the bank.
I was talking about at the bank. Obviously, yes, we're gonna be probably seeing like Jake Cave and probably some guys from the minors or something like that.
Nah, Jake Cave's probably still gonna play opening day. These fuckers. Yeah. I don't trust this Rob Thompson.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh jeez.
So we got to take Chris's advice and go to Frenchies. That's the whole note of this segment. Take nothing else away. Go to Frenchies. Get rum runners, 5 to 6 each. Anyway, Chris, would you like to give any advice to Howie if he was a couple rum runners deep? What would you be telling him to do this free agency?
Yo, all right. You know, I'm usually pretty logical with bringing in these superstar players. No, they shouldn't do it. It's too much money. Fuck it. Yo, Saquon Barkley, if he's healthy, is the best running back in football. Bring his ass here. Give him $60 million. Fuck it. You know, there's not many players. I'm just like, I don't know. I've been a Saquon fan. I got Saquon's high school jersey. I got Saquon's college jersey. I've met Saquon before. I'm a big Saquon Barkley fan. I'd bring him in. Fuck it. Fuck it.
Yeah, it would.
Go ahead, KJ. Let's see your side of this. I know my side.
So I was hanging with Chris yesterday, and we were talking about it. And I told him, I said, I got to be honest, I'm kind of having some weird, like if we do sign him, I'm having some weird DeMarco Murray kind of vibes at the same time. I don't know why, but it's just like that's where I'm kind of hitting on it because running backs. I mean, you've kind of seen if you go to the 10 past Super Bowls, they've been won by teams that are known for passing. So the run game in general right now is not what really wins you football games. It's not what wins you Super Bowls. I mean, you've seen it. Barry Sanders didn't win a Super Bowl. Trying to think who else. Adrian Peterson didn't win a Super Bowl. Like these elite running backs, it really just depends on the team in general around them. And with Saquon, it's been unfortunate. And I'm sorry, Giants fans. I'm sorry if this makes you go back to the tissue box and make you go in your Soros and whatever. But here's the bottom line. The Giants have just been not productive. They really haven't. So for Saquon, if he comes to Philly, it's going to be a totally different situation. I think it's either make it or break it with Saquon. As Chris says, if he's healthy, it will be a make it situation. I think it will. But if he's not.
But to counter that, Saquon Barkley will not be running 25 times a game here.
Yeah.
You're not going to give him bell cow back type stuff. I mean, look at Swift. Swift was hurt every single place he went before he got here. And, you know, they used him a lot less. He had, I think, 240 carries on the year. So I'd be fine bringing back Swift too. Let's not be like just Saquon Barkley. Come on.
We just hit 69 viewers on the show. Let's go! Whoa! Ding, 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 ding. No, I'm sorry. I had to do that. That's actually a lot of people,
let's go.
Big show.
In all seriousness, thank you to all you guys who are watching. Between Chris's Twitter, our Twitter, Chris's YouTube, our YouTube, KJ's TikTok, our Facebook,
good job, guys.
Twitches, 68 people. So some douchebag just left. To the douchebag that just left, fuck you. But anyway,
screw you, man.
Go fuck yourself.
I want to say this about Saquon.
Just kidding.
Every Penn State fan here and their brother.
We are Penn State.
Yeah, we are. Is going to want this guy. And you know what? Usually I'm like, fuck the Penn State fans. They're annoying.
They are.
But you know what? Fuck it, let's pay the guy. I'm all for it.
Let's go!
Seriously, I think that Saquon Barkley is a better running back, no doubt, than DeAndre Swift. But here's the thing. You're talking about like number 2 and number 3 versus like number 5 and number 7. So it's like, okay, how much of a drop-off do you want? But like, I'll put it to you this way. I want Saquon Barkley to come here if Saquon Barkley wants to come here. Let it be his decision. Let him come to you. Don't go approach him, Howie, like you did with DeMarco Murray and Chip Kelly. And really, it was Chip Kelly.
That was Chip who did that, yeah.
Make it his idea. You know what I mean? Let him come to you. And if Saquon's coming to the Eagles and he says, I like the way that Jalen Hurts plays, I like the way that this team is coached, I like the values that this team instills, and I like the idea of being in Philadelphia, I want to compete for the position. I don't care if DeAndre Swift is coming back because that's probably how he would say it. He doesn't know what's going on in there. Bring him in. Let's do it. Let's do it. But if not, if he's not pursuing you, in all seriousness, in my opinion, I am all for keeping DeAndre Swift. Back to the old Delco saying, to my Delco fans in the chat. Delco. If it ain't broke, don't fucking fix it. Right? So
I'm not sure that Swift's gonna. I don't know if Swift really wants to come back though. I mean, he wants to get a bag too. So I mean, if you're going to give somebody $10 million, you're giving it to Saquon Barkley, you're giving it to DeAndre Swift.
Yeah, someone was telling me that the Commanders are looking to offer him something.
They're looking to steal Zach Ertz too. What were your thoughts on that?
Zach Ertz. They love to just honestly. They think they can get revenge on the Eagles, but they just can't beat us in the regular season in general. So it's hilarious. And I know some Commanders fans will be like, "Oh, well, we won last year." No, think about it. The last 10 years, though, we've owned your ass. Like that's how it is. So.
What'd you think about him going to the Commandos? Like, seriously, was that a backstab? I'm with Chris on the glove right here. That was kind of a back. You don't go anywhere in the NFC East if you could pick, in my opinion. Anywhere else, go ahead.
I mean, it's not as bad as Dallas. It's not as bad as Dallas.
No, it's not.
He did win a Super Bowl here.
Yeah.
But come on. Is that really like he signed so quick? So it's not like that's the only place he could have signed. At least I don't think.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It sucks. It sucks. I mean, we had this with Donovan McNabb before. We had it with Carson Wentz. Not that we love Carson Wentz, but the Deshaun Jackson. Like, why the fuck do our good players go to the Commanders all the time?
Jeremiah Trotter.
Is it our fault or is it their fault?
It's their fault. They think Washington is going to be this great place. They can go down there and they can meet the president and whatever, and they can just have a good old time. And then they realize that there's no buildings, no city buildings like we have, skyscrapers. No, it's just a bunch of like little buildings and Congress buildings and stuff like that. So have fun with that. But yeah, besides that, though, they don't even really play in DC, to be honest. They don't. They play in Landover, Maryland. The stadium sucks there. FedEx Field is horrible. It's the worst freaking stadium in the NFL. And if Magic Johnson and what's his name? Harris.
The fraud from the Sixers. Yeah.
Yeah, the fraud from the Sixers. Not to bias.
Well, he's one of them.
The other fraud.
Josh Harris. If they're smart, they actually build a stadium or they rebuild it with RFK, the stadium that they used to have. But yeah, that's what they have to do because honestly, that stadium is falling apart. Me and Dalton went there. What was it, 2 years ago, Dalton?
The Commander Stadium, that was ass. Remember, like, the annoying sound the whole time? You guys can check out the vlog on the 302 Birds YouTube if you're watching on there. There's a vlog, and you can hear the whole vlog. People were just smacking this metal thing the whole time. And, like, at first, it was kind of funny. It was kind of cool because, like, but after a while, it really got annoying. Like, it was just not fun.
No, and I mean, I remember we were going up like that, what's it called? Like that stairs kind of, it's not a stairs, but what is it called? Like that, I forget what it is, but me and Jack were running up it, doing the whole eagle thing and flapping our wings. And we were going up and we could see like the ceiling, like rotting and everything. It's bad there. And I mean, it's only been around since like the 2000s or whatever. So it's surprising that they haven't really been keeping up with the stadium in general. And I mean, you saw like some Eagles fans got freaking hurt at FedEx Field because they collapsed and almost hurt Jalen Hurts. Thank God they didn't. But yeah, that's how bad FedEx is.
Schmedex, Redex. Anyway, I want to say this about it too. The only thing I'll say besides what KJ said is the fans there actually weren't that bad. there just weren't that many of them.
Well,
Like
'cause they don't
if
give a
you
shit.
watch the vlog, it's
They
a
don't
sea
care.
of green. Like
Oh,
I
no,
felt like a
yes,
home
yeah,
Eagles
you're right.
game.
Oh,
Or
you're
it
right.
felt like a 50-50 stadium. Like it was not intimidating at all to be there. And that's kind of what you want in your home stadium. At least like, just by pure numbers, you want to dominate. And it wasn't, which was funny. How do you guys feel about this question below? Derrick Henry potentially being a better fit or Saquon Barkley? I'll say this.
Ooh.
Saquon Barkley is obviously the better fit, the better play, the better player. Dude's a beast.
Younger.
No doubt about it. Younger, smarter decision. Chris is right. Financially, the business decision that we should make. But Derrick Henry is sort of a less risk, more reward. So he's kind of like you might get more out of him is what I'm trying to say. He's not going to be your top 2 or 3 running back like Saquon is, but Derrick Henry could easily still be a top 7, top 5 running back if in the right system. I think if played correctly. So that's up to you. That's up to Howie to really determine this question. But let us know more questions you guys have in the chat, and we'll keep the show going because this has been a great stream. But Ertz to the Commanders, let me just say this. The Deshaun Jackson analogy, whoever said that.
That was me. That was me.
Thank you, KJ. That took me back, man. Remember the... Oh,
Yeah.
my God. It's
Oh,
instilled in my brain.
His wings.
Yeah. It's forever. I'll always see
He did
it.
his
Like
wings, and he kicked. He just started kicking. And I
The
was
kick
like,
cursing
ball.
Chip Kelly when that happened too. Oh my God. I wanted Chip fucking hung at that point. I'm like, get him
It
the
was
fuck
ass.
out of here. Dude.
And it's gonna happen again, is what I'm gonna say. I don't know that Ertz will do that because Ertz was on the team then, I
don't
believe,
think Ertz will do
and
that.
he remembers the pain. But Ertz, I think, is gonna do something that's gonna be.
He's gonna score a touchdown.
And it's a
It's
subtle
gonna happen.
nod to the team. It's not like a bad thing. Imitation is the best form of flattery. So it's like almost like a rent-free thing. Like, okay, your touchdown celebration is you celebrating us. But the problem for Philly fans is it's always the players like Chris and KJ were talking about before the show and just now. It's always the ones that we love. It's always the ones that mean the most to us. That's the part that gets me.
Yep.
That's the part that sucks. But we've talked about Barkley. We've talked about Clearwater. We've talked about Kelce's retirement. We've talked about the Sixers' struggles, correct? All of that?
Yes,
of course.
So we pretty much talked about everything for the show. I mean, unless you guys have anything else that you guys want to touch on, maybe some quick Flyers deadline. I guess, was that yesterday, Chris?
Yeah.
Yes. So I think
did
it was,
we do anything at all, or are we in square one again?
we
Yeah, we
actually
did
made
some
a few moves. We made some.
Yeah.
So they traded Sean Walker, who's a like 3rd line defenseman. Not a great guy, not a great player, for a 1st round pick, which is pretty impressive. And then they also, what else did they do? They swapped some players. They gave up a 4th round for another player. They actually basically bought a 5th round pick in one move. They didn't do it like anything too crazy, but the 1st round pick for Sean Walker was really impressive, considering the Penguins traded a player, a much better player than what we traded, and they got only a 2nd and a 3rd. So great move by Danny Briere, and they're still in like playoff position. So they sold, but they didn't sell too hard, is what I would like to say.
So the guys we acquired, one of the guys was Eric Johnson, who was traded to the Flyers by the Sabres for a 4th round pick. So that was one of the guys that we got. I mean, I think I was asking Chris about him. I don't really know too much about him, but I think Chris was saying he's an okay player.
Yeah, he's eh.
He's I mean,
he's depth. He's depth. He's not going to really play that much. I think that was Danny Briere's way of saying, okay, like we're still trying to win, but we're not going to go too hard. Like he wasn't going to go out and trade a 1st round pick for a player. So they're still rebuilding, but also trying to win somewhat. I think they're probably like, they might win a playoff series, but they're not going to win a cup. But it's still fun to watch right now.
Yeah, and then also Wade Allison is on his way to the Predators.
Yeah, and they got a similar player back. I think that was more of a change of scenery move for both teams. You know, it might work, it might not.
Yep.
Flop. We'll see. But the other thing that just came up on my Twitter feed is the Eagles are trying to trade Josh Sweat.
Wow.
Sweaty J on the move?
Oh man.
I'll say
That
this real quick. That's dumb. I'm not about it. Don't do it. Josh Sweat is like your gem. He's your piece. he's like in the MLB, they have the farm system they talk about, right? Where these guys are up and coming. Josh Sweat is your farm system. You have Hassan Reddick. He's a little bit older. Sweaty J has been a very, very good investment for the Eagles.
I'm completely on the opposite end of this.
Yeah, I agree with Chris.
He's 20 though. I mean, compared to how old is
Yeah, he's
Hassan
getting paid
Reddick?
$21 million next year, though. It's not like he's a prospect where you're paying him nothing.
You're looking at a guy versus
I'd much
29 though. I'm with
but look at Reddick's production.
Figure out a way to keep him, because if you don't keep him and Reddick decides to leave, you are tentatively fucked at defensive end next year.
Smith. You got Nolan Smith though, young guy.
No, we haven't seen shit from Nolan Smith yet.
I'm trading Swift. I'm not Swift. I'm trading Sweat over Reddick all day. I mean, Reddick just produces so much more.
I agree with that. But
Reddick's a better player.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they want. If you can get something for Sweat, the problem with Sweat is he can't play the run at all. And with the new system they're gonna run, you can't have him not being able to play the run and having Reddick on the other side who also can't play the run. So one of them's got to go.
I think that's probably why they're trying to ship him out. I mean, that's probably.
I think they might be able to get more for Sweat because he's younger.
That too.
Might be able
that
to.
too.
And
I do agree, Reddick's a better player. I just think if you don't keep both of them, like Reddick, they're probably not going to be able to sign to longer than a 2-3 year deal. So like after that, you're kind of screwed.
Yeah.
But unless Sweat really comes out and plays a lot better this year, he's not worth that contract. I mean, what did he have, like 7 sacks last year? Like he wasn't great last year.
Yeah.
And he can't play the run is the problem.
Yeah, that's the main thing. So that's where I agree with Chris on this part. But yeah, I also heard somebody was saying in my TikTok live chat, the Eagles are apparently interested in Justin Simmons as well. And I mean,
they tried to trade for him before.
Yeah, I know Dalton loves names and he loves these big names coming to the Eagles. I don't know if it's going to make his eyes pop or whatever, or make him go crazy. But I mean, I wanted to get your opinions, guys, on it because somebody did bring it up. Justin Simmons, the Eagles. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I don't hate it. But it's also like they're going to have to sign somebody else besides him. I don't think he's going to make a ton of money because he's older. The one thing is he knows Fangio's defense, and you really need somebody in here that knows Fangio's defense, and I think he could be a leader on that defense. So if you give him like a 2-year, $13 million deal or something like that, it could really work out. Now, if he's making over 10, 12, I'm good. I'll take Cam Curl or one of the younger guys out there. But if he's a cheaper guy, they need more than one safety. Like they have 2 safeties on the roster right now. One's got a torn ACL.
Yep.
And the other, like Reed Blankenship's okay, but he's a third safety. Like he's not a starting level safety in the NFL right now.
No,
so
he's not. I mean, he led the team in tackles last year, but I mean, yeah, he's yeah. No, he was.
I wouldn't be opposed to Justin Simmons, but they need to bring somebody else in who's young. It can't just be Justin Simmons.
You know, it really sucks last year when we were watching the draft, when we drafted Jordan Davis, and no disrespect to Jordan Davis, but you have Jalen Carter. You have 2 of the same. I thought that this is one of the most idiotic things that our Eagles have done in a long time. You're going to go back-to-back years and draft the same position.
Completely different players, though.
Yeah, I agree. But here's
you need
the thing.
both of them. They both play at the same time.
You're in a 3-4 now, though, so you're not going to have
they're
2
both
defensive tackles. I don't know if they're both going to be on the field at once.
Carter's going to be on the edge. They're still going to play.
I hope so.
They have to.
I'm worried about it if they're not on the field at once, because what I was going to say and what I wanted was if you could have taken Kyle Hamilton, the kid who was a Pro Bowler from the Ravens this year, that was who I said. If you go watch my video from draft night, I was on it, and I was like, everybody still wanted him. And I think that would have been a way smarter investment. Even last year in the Super Bowl, you would have had a really solid safety with Hamilton. So I don't know. For the Eagles, they're in an interesting spot. What do you guys think about Cox too? You guys think he's going to retire? You guys think he's going to go to the Steelers?
I think if he wants to play another year, you bring him back. He's still a good enough player. You bring him back. He's fine. Again, I think they're trying to keep this patchwork as possible to keep this Super Bowl window alive. I think you got a couple players here that are older. Once these guys start to move out, then that's when you start your retool because they're not going to completely rebuild because they're still pretty young. But they're going to need to retool like some of these older guys and the younger guys. And we'll see. We'll see what they do. If they might just start that rebuild this offseason. I don't know.
What about CJGJ? You want CJGJ back real quick? I had a feeling.
We talked about that last week about the whole CJ Gardner-Johnson.
How do you feel about it, KJ? You want him back?
Who, Fletch?
CJGJ.
I mean, I said this last week. I mean, he left a bad taste in our mouths for sure. It kind of went AWOL. I mean, we went from loving the guy and supporting him to really like being like, wow, this guy's dissing the city. This guy's dissing the fans. So I don't know. It's kind of like 50-50 for me. So I wouldn't be mad if we got him back because, I mean, I feel like it'd be like kumbaya and be like, all right, we're cool now. But at the same time, though, yeah, I don't really know. I mean, he kind of was injured all last season. So I'm kind of 50-50 with it. But for Fletcher Cox, I think I kind of agree with Chris. I think it's all right to bring him back. That's fine. But, I mean, if the Steelers get him, it's just going to be like a one-year deal kind of thing. I think he'll just be there for a one-year deal, and then he'll just finish his career there. But, I mean, he'll be known as an Eagles legend, though, for sure.
I think Fletcher Cox on the move would be interesting for the Eagles because it's almost like you don't want to lose that legend. But like Chris said, you're trying to keep these pieces here. I thought that was a really good point. You're trying to keep all these pieces here, but it's almost like you got to like move on from the past at some point, guys. You know what I mean? And I don't mean that in a bad way. We're not as bad as Cowboy fans. We're not going to be keeping these guys here until they're 50. But you got to look at it and say, okay, what guys put us in the best chance to win a Super Bowl? And I really do hope that we end up, at least I end up being wrong on the Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter thing because we need both these guys to perform at a high level because now you have guys like Fletcher Cox, like Brandon Graham that are going to be gone. So now the guys that you drafted, Nolan Smith, we haven't really seen much from him. Super nice guy. I think the world of him, but we haven't seen much from him on the field last year. We don't know why that was, but we really need these guys that were investments in the draft to step up this year because as far as I know, I mean, what do we have? 1 first-round draft pick this year, and that's it? I don't think we have 2.
No, we don't have 2.
But we have 2 seconds.
Okay, so they're going to probably make an investment there, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Who do you guys want in the draft really quick? Do you guys want some offensive line depth, or are you guys under the impression linebacker, receiver?
Linebacker, safety, corner.
Yeah, linebacker, safety, corner. I think you have to go defense. I think you have to. I mean, that is the main concern, I feel like, because we saw this defense collapse last year. I think it was the main thing. We thought it was the offense, but I think it was the defense, to be honest, because I mean, when you switch coordinators, I mean, it's a huge problem for sure. And I think it's good, though. We have a new defensive coordinator, Vic Fangio, one of the great defensive coordinators in this league. So, yeah, I think if you get a young safety, maybe a young corner, but I mean, I would love the Eagles to maybe get a linebacker either first or they're not going to get him first. So probably realistically, I would say second, and they get Jeremiah Trotter Jr. So that'd be great.
Oh, I would love that draft pick. What are you thinking, Chris?
I'm thinking first round. If they can get Kool-Aid McKinstry, I'd love that.
Yep.
Second, we go. Let's see. I like Cooper. I like Trotter too, but I think I like Cooper a little bit better. So if Cooper's there, take him at 50. And at 54, might be a slight reach, but I really like Cam Kinchins from Miami. He's a real ball hawk, and they haven't really had a playmaker like that in safety in a while. But I wouldn't mind them drafting either a guard or probably more of a guard or tackle with that second round pick and, sign a safety. I think they need to sign a legit safety. You can't go in there with Blankenship and a rookie next year. You got to get a stud.
And that's kind of how I feel the same way a little bit. I'm all for the idea of signing a safety because at this point, you don't want somebody like, I'll say this about Kyle Hamilton. Kyle Hamilton's a great player, but I don't know that Kyle Hamilton, thinking back on it, would have had the same exact situation because the Eagles were in a lot different scenarios. At safety, you need to have experience. You need to have knowledge to be able to, learn from your mistakes. And if you don't have mistakes to make, you're going to make the mistakes. So I would love for the Eagles to sign a safety. And there's a plethora of guys out there that can play safety. Even like somebody like Patrick Peterson getting released by the Steelers, I think could come in as an option now, older in his career. You know, notorious corner, but whatever.
Let's get another
budget
old
guy.
corner like Bradbury.
That's the
Makes
last
sense.
case scenario.
Yeah.
To pick somebody out of anybody, I really like Justin Simmons. I like that idea. And then isn't there there's two other guys, I forget their names, who are pretty notable free safety.
Oh, Tre'Davious White.
He's a corner.
He's a corner. Yeah.
There's Cam Curl, Geno Stone, McKinney, with Julian Blackman. There's a ton of safeties. There's so many safeties.
Anton Winfield Jr. Looks like
he got tagged.
He got tagged.
Oh, he did.
And I was saying to Chris, I was like, if any player gets tagged out of those guys, I think it's gonna be Winfield. They really like that kid.
Yeah, Winfield's a stud.
They
if
really
they could have got Winfield, it would have been amazing. But Patrick Queen would be a hell of a signing. So is Devin White, who played for the Buccaneers, won a Super Bowl there.
And we've heard his name before many times with the Eagles.
So there's a lot of solid players out there. Now the problem is they can't just sign everybody. But I still think like you get a safety, you go out. They gotta figure out running back. So that'll be interesting. But don't worry, Philly isn't going anywhere. Okay. Whatever, buddy.
KC goated. All
You're
right.
a bum.
Kansas City bandwagon.
Hey, I'll tell you who might be going somewhere after next year, L'Jarius Sneed. That was an interesting one if they franchise tagged him. I don't think that he was too happy about that. And we just hit 100 viewers. Thank you to all you guys on the show. That's amazing. This is our first ever stream with that many. That at least mine. That's insane to have that many people between all combined stuff. Make sure you guys subscribe, comment, follow, whatever outlet you're on. Come back next Saturday morning. We will be doing the same stuff for you guys. I'm not ending it yet. Don't worry. I just wanted to make sure I shout out everybody on here that's been watching, because especially the Twitter audiences, they have both been consistent. You guys have been watching for a long time. We appreciate y'all watching with us in the early morning. But if you had one thing to say to any Kansas City fan as we're wrapping up here, KJ, what would you say to this guy with this comment?
I mean, I don't know if he's actually really a Kansas City fan.
KC goated. I think he's a Kansas City fan.
He probably is. But I can't really say anything that bad about it because obviously, I mean, they went through a really tragic situation a couple of weeks ago. So, I mean, there's nothing really I can make fun of them for because, I mean, it's just like obviously something happened at the parade and it's just it's awful for sure. So there's nothing really I have to really like go at a Kansas City fan. Way
to take the high road on that. That was beautiful.
I just seriously have nothing. I have nothing.
Yeah, I'm not as nice as you. Fuck
I was going to say, there it is.
I don't have anything else to say besides fuck them. They're a hell of a team, but fuck them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are the new New England Patriots. So everybody's bound to hate the Kansas City Chiefs for the next while. I saw a video. It was actually really funny. It was something a Patriots fan put out. And he said, I didn't get the Tom Brady effect until Patrick Mahomes came in the league. He said, I'm so sorry that we made it such a boring league to watch for such a long time. And I started cracking up at that because it's almost like very true. So that's cool that they have some acknowledgement. But like I said, if you guys enjoyed watching this show, please subscribe to me, subscribe to Chris, subscribe to KJ, follow all of us on these handles below. You guys can find them. We're pretty much the same on everything. If you look that up, it'll pop up. And other than that, I mean, I don't got anything else, but I hope everybody, and I had the wrong ticker up the whole show. Damn it. Sorry about that, guys. We'll I just realized that. Really? This is it.
We got the wrong episode number. We got the wrong ticker. Fuck it.
It's been a shit show, but it was our most ever viewed show. So that was.
Thank you guys. Seriously. It means a lot to us.
To follow, come back, hang out with us next week. I don't got anything else to either of you gentlemen.
Say going to Philly.
Clearwater, here we come, boys. Let's go. Woo!